Well, we're having a look at the platform build that I'm planning on doing for our lovely base on Extinction. Down the bottom is everything that Pharrell has built to date, and this has basically got all of the ASR and the visual storage. It's all really wonderful. There's all kinds of random visual custom cosmetics that have actually been utilised. And we'll go for probably a little bit of a tour of that in the aftermath of all of this. But for my one, I've taken a cliff platform. I've wedged it in nice and neatly with a concrete structure, and I'm currently working my way around the outside to build a palisade or a bulwark of some description with all kinds of nice little peaks and all the rest of that sort of stuff. It's utilising a corrugated metal custom cosmetic for the roof pieces, and so you can see the underneath of the corrugated down the bottom as well as the roof up the top. There is a chain link fence mod which allows you to get the barbed wire, and then down the bottom where we see the bones, the doorways, actually a doorway that's open there that should be shut, but the doorways have skulls and bones, and so it looks kind of nice having them there as an alternating pattern. And so we'll go through basically how to build each of these parts in just a moment and step through it all. But one of the things I'm actually planning on doing, because I'm finding it quite uniform, I'm probably going to take this section here and take a large gate frame out of the middle and have a gate frame, and then we've got Klinger's Mods does an extendable bridge. It has a fixed length, not a fixed length, it has a maximum length, but you can basically have variable lengths. You build a start point, you build an end point, and then you place the bridge down and it tries to snap them together. And I'm considering, and we'll talk to Pharrell about it, whether we can put that gateway and then have a bridge that joins these things together. And then I'll leave all of the inside barring my own little shack, which this won't stay here. I'll put the shack maybe up the top of that ramp, and then we'll put a feeder in the middle, feeding trough, and we can use this for breeding. We could use it for gotchas, we could use it for all number of random purposes. I'll try and leave it open so we've got a big space for doing anything that we want. What we'll do is we'll go over here and we'll talk about the build. I tried to do it before, made a little bit of a mistake because it's been a few days in between, but the long and the short of what we're doing here, what you want to do is you want to grab a wall. If you have a wall, it will snap to the end of the platform, and once you've snapped that on, you can then take a foundation and it will snap to the bottom of your wall. And once you've done that, get rid of the wall. For me, I'm using the Wasteland mods on all my foundations and ceiling pieces, whereas the roof is getting that corrugated iron. And then from there you can pretty much just go around. As long as you alternate between squares and triangles, it will follow the edge exactly the same. So it's actually a fixed thing. So if you actually work inwards, again alternating triangles and squares, you will eventually get to the middle, and this would then be filled out with a ring of triangles exactly as it needs to be. From here we want to then follow that same principle. Quarter walls should be the triangles. We're going to build this one and maybe that one as an example. So we'll put the triangles on this one. It will change from being a 4-edge item to a 5-edge one. Build out, we then transition it to squares. And then we transition back to triangles. And hopefully, oops, wrong triangle. Hopefully I'll have enough here. It's quite a lot. I think I need 9. Probably going to need to get more to finish the build once we get to the next part. Yeah, we are not going to have enough of those, but that's alright. We can go and make some more. Alright, and that's what we wanted to do. We're going 2 out. We can comfortably go 3 out. You would then have a row of 5 and a row of 4, because what you end up seeing here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, while this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so for every second layer you go out, you equalise the number of edge pieces that you're working with. And we'll go and get those triangles in a sec, but we'll try and do a little bit more before we get to them. We're now looking for the triangle roof pieces. You then want to place a triangle roof piece 2 over, skip the middle one, and then do another 2. And we'll do that on the other side as well. Actually, we might just save on pieces for the demonstration, we won't go that far. And then in the middle, and this is be mirrored on all of the parts, you then get a square roof piece and pop that down. Okay, and so that's the pattern. It would then be repeated all the way around, which is also repeated over there. The next part, we take our triangle roof piece, but we change it to the one where you fill in the hip and the valley pieces. It's the corner roof. And from there, on this edge of the very first one, it'll go diagonally out. And then if you join onto that very same piece, you create that valley that you wouldn't be able to get on your gable style roofs. Do that on the other end of the same run. And then for the sake of the joining up that we're going to do later, we're going to fill this one out as well. Now that has actually created a very nice, neat 90-degree angle. So we'll pop our square piece on our 90-degree angles. And now we'll actually start doing some of the cosmetics. So corrugated iron for the roof pieces. We want Wasteland for our squares. Hopefully we've got enough. Maybe we've got plenty going on at the moment. Right, from here we go back to the regular roof part, and we're going to create a ramp by joining them onto the square that we've just done. And bam. And we might as well do it on this side as well. Although we won't be able to utilize that ramp just yet, because otherwise it's going to fall to our death. Alright, and now we've created this nice little V shape where we can actually walk up onto our little section up here. Obviously, you know, it could fall off at any moment. What we'll do is we'll grab our squares, and so for that square roof piece, we're actually going to have it come out 2 squares, and this will allow us to then take our normal triangles. This is where we have to go and build some more. By creating a triangle piece here, we can now walk on quite comfortably. And we'll pop our last quarter piece down here. Bam, and so yes, you don't actually fall down this gap, which is really, really nice. So you've actually got this nice clean walk around that ends up going all the way around. So I'll go and pick up some more triangle pieces and I'll be back. Alright, we're back. And so this is the shell, as we were talking about. So we might as well finish this shell off before we move on how to join a second one on. So as a part of our ramp, we're going to want to make sure that we don't fall off. So we're going to place some railings all the way around. Ooh, I have placed that one wrong, but that's okay. Just grab it. A lot of the nice thing about all the peaks here is that if you accidentally snap something, you can always get to where you actually want to be. And so this has created a nice railing effect. And if I was to put the railing here, obviously it'll prevent you from falling down there, but it ends up having a bit of a piece that juts down that we don't really want. We now need to swap our cosmetic over to our rail. For some reason I can only have one cosmetic item down at any given time. It's a little bit annoying. There's possibly something I'm doing wrong, or maybe that's just how it is. Alright. We have done that much. Okay, and so that's an individual segment of one of the, I guess, one of the leaves of the cliff platform. But we now have another one that we've started over here, and we will want to join that up to the rest of our build. And so here we will want our triangle, which is a mirror of what's going on over there, but we can actually take out 2, take this one out 2, and you'll notice that this joins up very perfectly with a spot which has a 90-degree angle. And so we can pop that down there too. Fill that in with our Wasteland mod. And voila! This one. We have joined it all together, and obviously we're going to want our railing down here as well. There we go. Okay, to put the final touches on how this all joins together, the last part we need to actually do is we need to pop the handrails for going up, if we can get it to snap to the part we want, and we want to accent the top with some stuff as well. Bam. So up the top we have the barbed wire to make it look like the rest of it. However, for coming up here, we want to change this over. I don't believe it was that. No, it wasn't. What we need to do, custom cosmetics. We want the metal rail. Bam. Bam. And so the corrugated iron with the kind of rough look that it has forms a perfect rail for actually heading up there. It makes it actually suit a lot better. Alright, so now that we've actually done that, that's how we will actually end up just continuing that all the way around. But the last part to all of this is we need to start working on what's going on underneath, as well as the canopy. For now, we might as well just remove one of these. Grab some stairs. Bam. And from here, being very careful so that you don't launch yourself off the edge. Grab a wall piece. We want it to snap to the outside. And from there we now need to mirror all of the things that happened above. So pop a few triangles. Not you. Pop a square down. We then have a neat platform that we can actually work with. Excellent. And then we just fill this out exactly as it was above, putting a row of metal pieces all the way around the outside. Okay, now we've got our nice neat little section underneath. The last part to do will be adding in the accents along the outer edge, which was all the skulls and bones. So for this one, so that's a nice short one. We're going to have 1, 2, 3... I guess there will be the fourth one. It will actually fill out nicely on the outside. We might make that one have 3. Actually, we might check what the other side's got. Because there's one more there that would go between. So we got 1, 2, 3. Excellent. The one that's hidden would have 2, which would mean that this one has 3, and then this one should have 2. So we grab our Wasteland skin to mock it up. We want 1, 2. Oh, we did that the wrong way around. The reason why I left them blank is because I now need to remove them. We want to place those walls back, but with the open doorway, like the thick open doorway. Reskin them, and then when I get the chance, I don't think I have any doors on me, but when we place those doors, they will have to make sure that they're facing outwards, and they will have the nice skull pieces. And from here I can now just follow this all the way around, and if I alternate every second space, it will mean that this set of 5 will start with a door and have 3 doors on it, and then the next one will have 2 doors, and that way it'll look nice and neat and uniform. Albeit that I was also saying that by making it completely uniform, it does look a little bit off-putting. But yes, I'm going to break that side up with a door. I'm not sure what I'm going to do on this side. So jump up, and we can see the finished product. And so we can see here how these all line up nice and neat together. They've all got the railings, and when we look down below, I haven't continued the doors over there yet, but yeah, we've got 3 doors there, 2 doors there, followed by 3 doors. And then the piece that goes under there, I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with that, because I don't think I'm going to have foundation support to snap it together. But if I get lucky, maybe I'll be able to do something with it. But it could be that it ends there and it ends there and just continues on. Right, for the last part, we need to do the upper roof pieces. So we need to place a pillar, and you want the pillar... We're going to work from the triangle, so where you've got a nice little neat square like that, you go to the first triangle and you want it to follow that edge. You can have it snap in a different spot. I don't think it's going to do it nice and neatly here, but you could have it follow this edge here, or you can have it follow this edge here, and you want it to follow that edge. You want a second one, which then sits nice and neatly on that corner, and we're going to want to make that go up a second one. We might as well have that continue down to the bottom. Again, if you don't snap it properly underneath, it may change the angle on you. We'll change that to, it was not the Wasteland. I had decided to make that one the corrugated skin. I found that the Wasteland pillars do not look really that great. At least I don't think they look great. So from here we change it to the horizontal pillar. Snap on to our uprights to make sure it goes in the correct direction. We'll skin that while we're here. Right, we're going to need a triangle there. Ooh, wrong one. Bingo. Alright, alright, alright. Okay, I think we've got all the stuff there. The last part here, because this has gaps, obviously it's not going to join up nicely. Alright, on to the roof covering. We'll grab our triangles. And so with the part again that joins onto the square, you'll basically place a couple of those so that they join in nicely over here. And then the same would also happen on the other side. Bam, bam. Yeah, so the other thing you've got to worry about there is it will join at all manner of different angles. You've obviously got to try and make it so that it sits nice and flat and follows the beam above. From there you've then got two pieces that look like a square would fit, but it won't exactly fit. But if you place a square on either side, they will overlap. Oh, and that's actually put down stair pieces, because I built the stairs earlier and it remembered. So they will join on and they will overlap so that they look nice and neat. And then when we put the corrugated skin over the top, we can step out a little bit, probably put on K mode. And there we go, we've got a nice little shield. And now that we've actually placed that roof piece on, we can then fill in that top piece with a couple of pillars. Hopefully the pillars are still remembering the horizontal, which they are. So again, it will follow a little gap, but then you can join and overlap them. Grab our corrugated mod, place it over the top, and it's all nice and neat and hidden away, and you can't even tell that there was a double up. Well, you kind of can if you look really, really closely. But what then ends up happening here, because we've got this point, and what you end up doing with this point, because it's a 90-degree angle, we can utilize the hip. And then obviously over here, what do we got? We need to put some pillars down. Bam, bam. Not that one. Horizontal. Horizontal. Skin, 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 skin. Alright. And yes, we've got a lovely 90-degree angle here, which of course we can handle that with a metal corner roof. Just got to make sure that the hip faces the right way. Bam. Then we can fill in the rest by going back to the start and getting a roof triangle. Skin it all down. And that one, what have I done there? It looks like it's hit the wrong angle. Right. And that one's hit the wrong angle as well. Alright, pop out here onto the side. Once again we hit K mode and we can see that that's actually filled in quite nicely. The corrugations just continue on, and then we'll just repeat this as it continues all the way around the outside. Alright. And so that basically does the subfloor, which I'll then be able to utilize this for who knows what in terms of storage. If you're actually looking for this to be a complete base, obviously you would be able to do that, because you could take all of your storage, especially if you're using mods like the visual storage like we are, you can hide them all away in nice little neat rooms on the sides, maintaining this nice massive open area in the middle without having to, I guess, use up all the space. And then if you want, you can start using a lot of these little nooks and crannies that are available, so you can put a lot of your crafting around the outside while still, once again, maintaining a massive big open area in the middle. I'm planning on moving these ones. I utilised the squares to put a single pillar down, and that way it would actually hold a light. But I want to extend the pillars down from the very top to the bottom. So I'm considering moving that particular one. I may keep it just because it's nice and neat and actually has a light that shoots directly towards the centre. But I'm still debating whether I want to keep that or whether I want to change it to something else. But yes, as I said, we'll probably take a chunk out of the middle here. The gate can be 2 by 3 or it can be 4 by 4. I think that was the ASR anyway. So that's got an edge of 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could actually have a really big gate that just encompasses all of it, which would mean I'd have to take out that entire area off the end there, and then just turn that into a door. And that would actually break up, I guess, that uniform look that's actually been going on. And I would have to then consider, what is it I'm doing on this side? Maybe I'll put a landing platform there and a door. And it'll actually make it symmetrical, but it'll sort of break up the repetitive nature of the outer edge. Anyway, that's my my base and how I've been building it to date. We're going to do heaps more, and so this will be kind of like the little first review, and we'll go further as I do more in the coming episodes, because obviously I have a fair bit to do. Got a lot of resources to farm up. We're currently running out of metal, so I need to do a big metal run, and then we'll fill the rest of this out and try and work out how we're going to join the bases together and what purpose I'm actually going to do. But I guess in the meantime we can come down here and we can have a look at a little bit of what's happening down the bottom, because this thing is yeah, what I really like about this, and it's not how I build, I tend to build symmetrical and uniform, whereas this base is just kind of that free form build, and everything's just, it almost looks like somebody's tacked it on together to create, you know, a real rustic fort style village. It's actually really, really good. I like it. It's just not how my brain works. But yes, the entryway here coming into our visual storage crane. So there's a lever down the bottom there, so you can park your creature, it unloads, and it will take up to the storage area that's up the top. There's a bit of storage down the bottom here as well. I suppose I should just pop off here and have a quick look around and talk about what's going on. So down the bottom, oh, don't open that door. So you can see Steve here, he's trying to leave the building. Might come around the other side, I think there's a door here as well. Yeah, there is. Ooh, you wanted to get out. Yeah, for some reason he wants to path out, and he'll then sit almost on the other door, but not quite on the other door. This is our farming, so he's supposed to be grabbing all those resources, I believe putting them in the fridge. Oh, we've got a nice little amount of stuff actually building up at the moment. So yeah, this is a nice little farm setup. I don't think... Oh, these are filled in. But yeah, the original structure, which is that pillar there, actually has openings that you could walk in and out of. And so the glass panels here have actually been placed in to fill it in and then give us a nice little garden. Because we're not worried about greenhouse effects, you know, these are just stacked and then just going for it. Yeah, nice little hanging crop on the side there. So yeah, nice little farm. Don't let him out. The guy's doing weird stuff. Shut there. So we've got a couple of ramps that move to the next level. A ladder where we could climb up. We might take our bird. Don't want to have to run all the way back down. But at the very least, we'll go up here. Ooh, I hadn't actually seen these park benches before. But yeah, you could run all the way up here. And then yeah, if you wanted to, keep going all the way up to the top. Most of this is Wasteland. There's that corrugated metal look. The chain link fences. So, visual storage mod, a couple of things. Got my nice little visual bug there, making it do kind of weird green stuff, because that should be like thatch or fibre. This left-hand building is all visual storage. It's very dark. We've got to actually start putting some lights, but yeah, a lot of storage, crystal, obsidian, various bins here for like your electronics and whatever else. And all this stuff has a draw mechanism like the S Plus mod. Access our crane in here. This is pretty empty. Room to grow. That's what we like to see. Nice little viewing platform of the entrance. It's pretty cool. Alright, chain link fence. Very good. But yes, on this side. Oh, have we got a televator? Yeah, nice. So we can actually go up and down the televator. Very good. So it's a little bit out of place with the whole rustic scrap metal look. But this is our kitchen, and so in here the cooker, this is the pantry, so this is the visual storage, holds all of our various meats and berries and foods. Little cook pot. I recently just made some of my meat cake stuff and tried it on a bear. I'm a little bit worried. The bear didn't seem to get a lot of benefit from the meat cake. It didn't have a huge health pool, so I'm not certain, and I'm going to have to test it a little bit. Find a true carnivore, because I'm suspecting that behind the scenes in the dev kit, a bear is not actually classified as a carnivore, and as a result, without meeting yours again. Because it's not a carnivore, my mod won't actually work on it. So I was going to get some armor doggos soon, and we're going to give them a go for sure. Anyway, we're still in the kitchen. Head all the way up to the top here. More platforms and winding around. It's just, yeah. I love it, but my brain just doesn't go there when I do builds. Nice little... it's not even crenellations, but yeah. Little fort tower on the side where you can actually have a viewing platform. Right, we're on to the main area. If we head that way, it will actually... a televator goes up through the floor to our old base. That's obviously the garage. I'm still yet to even try with the Wasteland vehicles, but I've only heard bad things about them so far. Like, they're just not good. This is effectively... oh well, Pharrell's gone berserk. This is Pharrell's main residence, and so we won't go too much into there. Oh, that's communal room. Right, so it's been changed a little bit. Nice. So yeah, communal room. Got a fair bit of decorations. We've got all the nice fancy couches. I believe we have a mod for doing the drawings, so that's really cool. Fridge full of seeds. Oh, that was a close one. But yeah, cryo fridges like galore. Oh my goodness, how many things have you got? Looks like they're mostly empties, but jeez. That, because yeah, you can see by the numbers, 41, 74, 91, that is a lot of cryopods. Wow. Equipment and saddles. I think that was the only one I found linked over to the other side. I've already created an enforcer, and so there's not many saddles I need right now. A Thylacolio saddle would be great, and probably the Armadoggo saddles. This is the Steam Forge. It works really nicely. I don't know why they made it activate on element. Because it runs on element, you don't really want to waste your element. You really need to pack it full before you turn it on, because you don't want to really waste the time. And so this is just metal storage using the visual storage mod with a lot of room to grow. And then finally, even though there's the big door, there's a nice little door on the side, is our workshop. So grinder, crafting benches, fabricators, the visual storage drop point, tinkering desk, and chemistry bench. Not sure where our makeshift... oh, there we go. There's the makeshift lab. That's pretty cool too. Alright, well that's the base tour. Whoa, that was a close one too. That must have smashed the windmill at the very top. Alright. Well, the base tour in a nutshell. I know they've closed that area up there. We've still got a big open point up there. The board did actually say some of the ideas. I think that's the Clinger's netting actually. Cliff above town could be used for a big teleporter and a Zeppelin spot. Well, yes, definitely could. Televators are done. We need Dreadnoughtus parking, more garages, and the bio grinder, as well as gotcha spots. Okay, well, I've managed to finish things off, and we've set a few more things up on the platform. We've obviously, Pharrell's brought all the gotchas up here. I had this wonderful roof prior to this one. This one's still pretty good, but I'll explain that in a moment. I've just built a little box here. This is my bedroom. I don't really think I'll be using it very much. We've got one of the Bob's Tall Tales spotlights, because it actually sheds an enormous amount of light over a large area. It's actually really good for that. Yeah, the roof is a bit of a problem. The OSD above that was destroying our base above also knocked out my roof, which is a real shocker. What I ended up doing, and this wasn't actually on the previous little segment, is I've taken the ASR Architect Structures Remastered, and they have a glass thing. So this is basically a metal variant of glass, and it has a nice little hatch pattern to make it look like chain link. And I had made it work off a slope all the way up to that part in the middle there, so it almost looked like I had a chain dome, Thunderdome style stuff all the way over this, and basically had flying room all the way up here. It was actually quite nice. The OSD came down and it clean sheared it off at this level. There was only a few pieces in these little half moon areas that actually remained. Everything that was actually moving up basically got wiped out, and so I've completely redone it so that it's a flat roof over the top. It still doesn't look too bad. Again, it just looks like a nice little chain link thing. It's a little bit yeah, it wasn't what I wanted, but hopefully it will work out, because there's actually chain links in between here as well. So any of the random pteranodon that turn up will not be able to fly into this area, so we can have teams in here doing things without worrying about wild creatures getting in there to interfere. It's good. Yeah, not the deal with the OSD having an area down. Like, this is a long way down, and yet we're still able to wipe stuff out. Still, it's done. I'm very happy with the progress. I put some nice, interesting lights here across the front. A nice little red touch on the door, so that you basically have a nice dark welcome. Real, you know, salvaged metal base in the sky. You can imagine basically an outlaw tribe. My goodness, that looks interesting. An outlaw tribe basically living up here, and this is where they're defending all of their stuff, and they're protecting themselves by caging themselves in completely. The only thing that's missing now is some kind of, I guess, mounted weaponry to really scare stuff away. And that's what we were considering. I mean, if the roof hadn't worked, we would have considered basically some kind of plant species or something along those lines. The new blades, the blade swarm, and then obviously you've got your turrets and all the rest of that sort of stuff that you could put here on the outside that would actually protect you against all the nasties that fly in. It's only occasional, but it's a corrupted pteranodons that actually swing by and occasionally cause me grief. This seems to be some kind of harvesting test. Anyway, this is all about this building though, not about the gotchas. That will come another time. Oh, love it. Alright, let me know what you think down the bottom. Maybe you've got some ideas I could add to this to... Silly bloody pegos. What I could add to make it even better. I could probably put some kind of spikes across the top. I've kind of left it flat and unappealing deliberately at this point, but I could always add some kind of accent to that flat plane above the base. Alright, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.